handing you over to Roscoe. That was our abridged version. Thank y'all very much. Cheers. Donate, 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 donate.
Nice work, Andy. Okay, how about a round of applause for Andy? Yeah, it's so weird, isn't it? Most of the cyber open mic appearances that I've made over the last year and a half have had other people there on the screen where you could kind of see them in their box, and of course they could unmute and really screw up a song if they try to sing along. But I really appreciate being plugged into this. I got a little bit of a background. I live in Nashville and in St. Louis. I've got a lot of roots in Missouri. I've had a wonderful cabin near Fort Leonard Wood that got wiped out in a flood and so forth and so on. What I'm going to bring here is some music, of course, and then I want to share with you some of my feelings about education. And I was lucky enough to be an educator for a number of years, and you get to meet a lot of kids, and that's one thing the parents can't do is go visit all these kids at home. And it isn't like I went to their house and had dinner with them, but you can tell what's going on when they show up, and you get to know a kid after 10 months of spending every day with them. Health is a big issue, and sometimes we just think in terms of COVID or the flu or whatever, and that's a big deal. Don't get me wrong. But on the other hand, there's like eyesight, and there's just some of the mental things that these kids are exposed to. There's some really brutal places that take their toll on these guys. Anything and I've seen people come in to volunteer in schools, and it just means like even counseling and talking to kids, and it's just the Big Brother programs and all kinds of things that really, really make a difference. And the earlier you can make a difference, the better it is. All right. Hopefully you can hear that, and you can donate. And I wish it was as easy as just a one-click Amazon, buy now. But it's you're going to have to do a couple of things and then do it. It's $5, $10, $20, whatever you can afford. If you can afford something and you don't do it, anyway. So this song is called High in My Tree, and let me introduce myself. Became a man down in Nashville. I took a northern woman for my wife. She gave me 3 healthy children, and 2 of them that never saw the light. I lost my father in 77. I lost my mother in 10 years more. Late at night, I hear the drumming. I hear 'em coming and knocking at my door. So pardon me if I get a little too high in my tree. You see, I once was a lot more like you. Now I'm a whole lot more like me. Once like you, now I'm a whole lot more like me. It's some old house in need of attention. 2 young hearts in harmony. Day to day, hard work, love and affection. And out of nothing came a home and family. A wiser man he might have a moment and bow his head with Father Time. Consider blessings, good times and bad ones. Halfway up a mountain left to climb. So pardon me if I get a little too high in my tree. You see, I once was a lot more like you. Now I'm a whole lot more like me. Way up high in my tree. Way up high in my tree. Along this road that I travel, personal deeds done, both right and wrong. Thoughts and feelings there to unravel and weave into the fabric of a song. And weave into the fabric of a song. So pardon me if I get a little too high in my tree. You see, I once was a lot more like you. Now I'm a whole lot more like me. Way up high in my tree. Way up high in my tree. Way up high in my tree. Yeah, so there you go. 3 chords and the truth. Well, actually, it's 3.5 chords, but who's counting chords, right? Yeah, you can check that scroll out down there. Please support school-based health. And like I said before the song, being an educator and seeing the effect that it has on these kids, and just, I mean, in reality, they just got screwed over last year. Personally, I became ill my freshman year of high school, and I missed 4 months of it, the first semester, actually from November to January. And there's such a social thing going on there that I don't think I ever caught up. That's why I'm so immature now. But anyway, yeah, so do it. The more we can feed that system, the better off we're going to be. Trust me on that one. All right, next song. I wrote this song right before the lockdown. I was working on it. Some friends of mine were going through some abuse problems, and little did I know that the next year and a half would swell that pool pretty good. Anyway, this song is called 1,000 Years Ago. Let's see it. I'll just get this feel for it. Raindrops fall down on the trees, rivers flow to an ocean breeze, cotton clouds float in a sky so blue, make a grown man cry, and the earth and moon and the stars spin and they dance all night. And you and I both know that was 1,000 years ago, but it could have been yesterday if you'd have had your way. And all the hurt you feel and the pain that hides inside, you gotta let it out. You gotta take it slow and let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You try to find your way back home. You went too far, now you're all alone. You wonder why, like you're 17, it all boils down to hopes and dreams. Through a pouring rain, they call your name. And you and I both know that was 1,000 years ago, but it could have been yesterday if you'd have had your way. And all the hurt you feel and the pain that hides inside, you gotta let it out. You gotta take it slow and let it go. Let it go. Let it go. I both know that was 1,000 years ago, but it could have been yesterday if you'd have had your way. And all the hurt you feel and the pain that hides inside, you gotta let it out. You gotta take it slow and let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Raindrops fall down on the trees, rivers flow to an ocean breeze, cotton clouds float in the sky, so blue, make a grown man cry. The earth and moon and the stars spin, and they dance all night. And the earth and moon and the stars spin, and they dance all night. Yeah, 1,000 years ago. Although my parents lived through they were born in '09, so they lived through 2 world wars and a pandemic. And boy, I'll tell you, nothing like going through a pandemic to make you think old school. Anyway, I remember my dad used to say to me, don't be the first and don't be the last. And it holds true today. Don't be the last one, please. All right, let's see, we're on schedule here, aren't we? I think I could pull out a 7-minute song here. Let's see how that goes. I could probably talk for 7 minutes. You got me going now. I know, let's see, who's up? I can't see who's next. I didn't see that. But this next song, so one of these, what the crazy part about virtual open mics and this sort of format, and like I said earlier, when there's people, there's, like 20 people in squares and you're all having fun and talking, it's really kind of cool. Especially when one of them is from LA, one's from Denver, and one's from Baltimore, and one's from the UK, and it's just crazy the way this sort of format crosses borders instantly. So I don't know where you're sitting right now, but if you could just reach into your pocket and find what it takes to donate, please do that. Like I said, there's a link, click on it. It'll have a little red button there that says donate, and just, do it. Like, just think if you can afford it, and yeah, I mean, think about that. But on the other hand, I remember there was an old busking rule that if somebody's busking and you stop and you listen, even if it's for 20 seconds and then you're off, you should give them at least $1 or $2 just for the fact that you stopped and listened. So do that. Think about it. The other little tidbit of wisdom I'll give you, I better not talk too much, is whenever we had a decision to make in education, and people are, you know, this and that, don't do this, don't do that, let's do this, and all that kind of, you know, and it starts with the board and it goes right down into the classroom. The thing I learned about it is stop and think what's best for the kids. And if your decision has them in mind, it's probably a good one. All right. This song, I've been criticized in these open mics for doing simple things. That last song is a good example of how simple I can be. This one is a song about the truth. The truth. There you go. So here we go. I hope this guitar is not too loud. I'll try to rein it in. Let's see. I was walking down the street with my baby the other day, and she said, honey, everywhere you look, they're talking up something bad. It's like the whole world is blowing up. It's like you can't even breathe without messing with somebody's air. That gets on me. That gets on me. What do you think? Ooh, so I thought about it. And I thought about it some more. And I said, baby, I hear you. I feel it too. You know, but every once in a while, I think it just comes down to me and you and the truth. It is what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. And you do what you do, what you do, what you do, where you are, what you do, where you are. And she just looked at me and smiled and said, yeah, yeah, yeah. She said, yeah, 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 yeah. Baby said, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, you know it is what it is, and you do what you do where you are. So I doubled down on that shit. I said it is what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. Yeah. And you do what you do, what you do, what you do where you are. What you do where you are. And she just looked at me and smiled. And you know what she said? You want to know what she said? She said, yeah, 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 yeah. And I love it when she talks like that. She said, yeah, 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 yeah. You know it is what it is, and you do what you do where you are. Do what you do, man. Do it, do it, do it. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. She knew exactly what I was talking about. Exactly what I was talking about. At first I couldn't believe it. It never happened before. I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was losing my mind. And then she did it again. She looked deep in my eyes, and you know what she said? Yeah, 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 yeah. And I love it when she talks like that. She said, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, you know it is what it is, and you do what you do where you are. One more time for the last row. It is what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. Yeah. And you do what you do, what you do, what you do where you are. What you do where you are. And she just looked at me, and we smiled at each other.
Our first one is...
And started laughing and said, yeah, 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 yeah. A baby said, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, you know it is what it is, and you do what you do where you are, and you are in space. Jerry and Jerry, tag, you're it.